Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all already know who this is. This is Ron the freaking Don. And today, I want to talk about the recent incident that happened in Chicago involving a ICE raid that got everyone in their feelings. That got the whole mainstream media as well as social media influencers in their feelings and the frenzy over nothing. Now the reason why everybody, all they see is the images about ICE taking, raiding the building that inhabited the Trinidad Anago gang, and they hear, and it's this narrative that the mainstream media is pushing about they zip tying kids and they have them naked and ICE saying fuck them kids or whatnot. And in response to that narrative is that ICE, that it was in a black neighborhood or whatever, right? That ICE had to, in order to detain the Trinidad Anago gang and these individuals, they have to put the whole building under siege. The building, the same exact building that the Chicago residents has been complaining about for the past year and some change. These buildings not only inhabited the Venezuelan gang Trinidad Anago, but they also inhabited drug addicts who reside there as well. It was an abandoned building that numerous Chicago residents have complained to the administration about, and the Brandon Johnson administration has yet to do anything about it. The Brandon Johnson administration has yet to resolve the situation. So now, because he hasn't resolved the situation, the ICE, Immigration Customs Enforcement Agency, has to do their dirty work. ICE has to clean up their mess. And it's been massive protests throughout Chicago, talking about with the narratives, with the false narrative saying that ICE is going after black people, ICE is going after black people. But listen, but they don't want to acknowledge the fact that the Biden administration has let in over 10 million illegal immigrants cross the border throughout his tenure as president. And not only that, the Johnson administration has dumped them, has placed them in the black neighborhoods, which is South Shore Chicago. So there's been massive protests in response to that. So now, and not only that, the ICE, the protests are prohibiting ICE from doing their job, which means that they are obstructing justice. You hear me? They're obstructing justice. So now, a couple days later, following the ICE raids and the protests, a female activist in support of the anti-ICE protests has ransacked into an ICE vehicle along with the assistance of 10 cars that try to box in a ICE enforcement officer. And the female activist had tried to open fire with a semi-automatic firearm that she had in her possession. And the ICE officer, in self-defense, fired a shot, returned fire, and gave her a couple bullet wounds. And she was admitted into the hospital to treat those bullet wounds. So now, right, everybody is you can hear all the hoopla and the holla, all the negative backlash towards ICE with the protests. You have even with female activists, you have a female politician in the Chicago area who who has came into the hospital, requested and try to obstruct justice in the hospital, where ICE may have detained some migrants from the hospital, and she tried to obstruct justice. All this backlash against ICE. So now I'm gonna get to the premise of this video now, right? Donald Trump has deployed the National Guard, 300 National Guard troops from the state of Texas to protect the ICE agents in response to the protests. The same protesters who's obstructing justice, who is preventing ICE from doing their jobs. Donald Trump has summoned the National Guard. And now, in return, the AG, the Attorney General of Illinois, has filed a lawsuit against the administration. I see this is nothing but a political stunt, a PR stunt, so he can gain media attention. The Illinois, it is a perfect opportunity for the Illinois Attorney General to gain media attention. Sue the Trump administration for trying to clean up their mess, to try to resolve the issues in Chicago, something that the Brandon Johnson administration has failed to do. They have failed to resolve the situation, so Trump has to clean up their mess. So, and this is the things he get, a lawsuit. Like I said, it's politics all over. It's politics written all over it. But listen, I don't knock nobody's hustle. I don't knock nobody that's trying to gain, that's trying to get ahead in their career, to further their political aspirations and possibly run for higher office. I'm not, that's just the perfect opportunity for the Illinois AG to do so. So, hey, listen, I'm the type of person, I don't hate the player. I just say don't hate the player, hate the game. So this is all part of the political game. Now, the Democrats, these Democrats are doing the same exact thing that Trump does. But yet they criticize him when they do the same exact thing. That's just like the Democrats, hypocritical, right? But yeah. So they summoned the National Guard, and J.B. Pritzker, the governor, and Brandon Johnson, the mayor, of course, is speaking out against the administration for sending the National Guard troops. But yet they have 4 years to resolve the issues in Chicago, and they have failed to do so. So they should be thankful that Trump is sending them assistance for them to clean up their mess. But guess what? They don't want to resolve the issue. Democrats thrive off chaos. Why? So they could appease the far leftists, the communists of their party. I think they're trying to appeal to communists, Gen Z, and whatnot. And I guess it gets them ahead in the primary, right? Like I said, I don't hate the player. I acknowledge how politics works, and my job as a commentator is to point that out and it's to educate the people that this is all a political stunt. Because the whole it's like the whole premise of the Democratic Party is to hate on Trump. That's what it seems like. Just create chaos and oppose Trump at every single moment that they get the chance to, even on policies that make sense. And when they should work with him on issues that the majority of the American people care about. Like I said, numerous polls has showed that most Americans support Trump and the Republicans on immigration and crime and the economy over the Democrats. So what will be the smart move for the Democrats is to work with the Trump administration on the issues of the economy, immigration, and crime, like they did back in the 1980s when Reagan was in office. They worked with him on crime and immigration during the drug epidemic. It's crazy how Democrats work with the Republicans when it comes to putting black people behind bars But they fight tooth and nail against the Republicans when it comes to aiding and abetting illegal migrants that's coming into this country unvetted, along with terrorist organizations. And speaking of terrorist organizations, Trinidad and Agua and the Antifa, which is designated terrorist organizations. Trump administration designated them as terrorist organizations. They're the one who facilitating the migrant crisis. Trinidad and Agua and Antifa. Antifa is the main political group who's facilitating the whole riots, anti-ICE riots in Portland and Chicago. They're the main ones facilitating that. So now, there's an argument that when the AG suing the Trump administration that on grounds of it's unconstitutional, well, according to Title 10 of the Constitution, the Trump administration can summon the National Guard to protect federal agents. And he can invoke the Alien Insurrection Act, something that George H.W. Bush has done back in 1992, and that the Dwight Eisenhower has done back in the 50s to desegregate schools. So there you go. Trump has grounds to invoke the National Guard. But anyway, that's my argument. That concludes my video, and I will catch y'all in my next video. If you like this video, hit like, subscribe, leave a comment, and I will catch y'all in my next video. Peace.